Ready?
Mm-hmm.
You are live.
Really?
Martha, we're live.
Cool.
Shall we start with our proper intro?
Sure.
Boom. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning. Go ahead. You want to do your...
Good morning.
It's Friday.
It is Friday. We made it.
Made it to what, exactly? We made it to what?
Friday?
Is tomorrow any different than a Tuesday?
Not really.
You know, Sunday's different. We got to go to church,
Yeah,
which is
at
nice.
this point, it's not different.
It's not much different.
We work weekends, so.
We do. You got a good day tomorrow planned?
Sure.
I think we got stuff.
Got
Stuff we got to get caught up on.
Got stuff going on.
All right. So I think a couple shows back, we were asking for a new name.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get this on the Apple podcast, and Apple's very picky. They didn't like my very, I don't know what the word is, not professional artwork cover. So we're trying to come up with a better name.
Yeah.
You know, we were doing Good Mornings with Alex and Martha, but I don't know. So some of the tips or some of the suggestions.
We asked for suggestions this week.
All right. What are some of the suggestions you got? Good morning, Mom.
Coffee and Conversations with Martha and Alex.
Good morning, Laura Lee.
Morning, Laura Lee. Speaking of, AM Rising with Martha and Alex.
Like it.
Rise and Shine at 9 with Martha and Alex.
Like it.
A&M Live in the AM.
So that's too confusing.
Home Work with Alex and Martha.
See, and I kind of like the homework one. If we have like a little heart in between it.
Not a one-word homework.
See, that one's kind of cute. That one might be the lead right now. What do you think?
It might be, but yeah. So if you have another one,
yeah, we're still taking
from these.
Still taking suggestions. Yes.
Yes.
So
always.
That's kind of fun. So we're still researching homeschools.
Yep.
I guess we'll make a decision next week. We found a motorhome we're interested in. It's all the plan's coming together, Martha.
It's an interesting plan.
It is
I don't know if it's a plan.
It's a dream.
It's a dream. Living the dream.
Live in an RV down by the river, homeschooling my kids, and blog everything, because it might be interesting to some people.
It could be.
You know, if we get good at that, and then you make money at it, and you know, it'd be all right. So today,
if you don't sabotage it.
Yeah, good segue.
Thank you.
Today we want to talk about 15 ways people. I don't know if it's 15-ish ways people self-sabotage. And what was kind of interesting going through this is this for me. I don't know about for you, Martha, but this is like therapy almost a little bit. You know, we got to learn things. I've learned a lot about you.
I've learned a lot about you as well.
I'm an open book.
Most of what I learned was that day you went through your yearbook. But, yeah.
So you learned more about the kind of person I was.
Yes.
Which may explain the kind of person I became.
I think it does.
So things like, oh, you've been an idiot for a while, haven't
you? Yeah. You know, and I think maybe we should suggest that to people that before they marry, read their senior yearbook comments.
That could be horrible, though. How many of us are the same person we were in high school?
Not probably not that many. Hopefully.
I don't know. I got the same amount of friends.
Hopefully not that many.
Oh, my.
Growth. Personal growth.
Yeah. And I think we've done a pretty good job on the personal growth.
Yes.
So that's what I like about this thing. Personal growth. All right. Shall we get started?
We've inspired some people to make some changes in their life.
Don't you sometimes you hear something, just one little thing, and like, oh, that's interesting. That's all we're trying to do.
Get a little nugget of information, maybe make your life better.
We're throwing nuggets out there.
Nuggets.
Just almost sound like turds. Just
gold nuggets.
Gold nuggets. All right. You got a gold nugget for us?
I do.
On ways people self-sabotage.
Sabotage?
And don't be hard on ourselves. If we hear something like I do that, we don't need to be hard on ourselves. Mm-hmm. We just acknowledge it and like, oh, is that something about myself I want to change?
Yeah.
Is this particular thing I'm doing actually keeping me from becoming the person I'm destined to become or have the potential to become?
But you create your own cage.
You do create your own cage. Nobody else does.
So
we create our own limits on this.
Absolutely do.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
What's the first one, babe?
Poor prioritization skills.
How are you on that? What kind
It's
of
a
answer is
technical
it?
term.
It sounded like a Fraggle. I would say I'm probably not good at that either. I tend to prioritize things by the level of fun they are.
Yeah.
And I've noticed the things that are the most fun aren't necessarily the things that are going to make us money or push the agenda forward.
I tend to prioritize things by what's bothering me the most. So, like last week, the girls accidentally spilled a 2-liter bottle of Sprite all over my kitchen.
Right.
So the priority has been to clean the sticky and not do other things, which you seem to find like they should clean it, but I'm like, they already cleaned it once and it was still sticky. So it was a priority of mine to get the sticky off the floor.
Yeah. So that
Prioritization.
Skills.
Yeah.
So what we should do is the things that are most important, not
Yes.
necessarily the things that are the most urgent. So like you felt that was the most urgent because it bothered you the most.
It did.
But it maybe wasn't the most important.
Yep.
All right, what's the next thing?
Okay. Imposter syndrome.
Ooh, that's interesting. What does that mean?
You're not using my cool banners.
Oh, I'm not. I'm sorry.
No,
I forgot.
No, you're not.
All right, here, I'll do that.
So imposter syndrome. So people believe they're not good enough.
What?
That they're faking it. So, example.
Okay.
We're talking to the kids and they think that maybe, I could, absolutely, I could pass the real estate exam and be a realtor. And then they say, but I look so young, no one would trust me.
So yeah, they would feel they'd
not.
be faking it and they wouldn't have the credibility.
But if you have the same skill set and training as someone who's 60, and you know how to do it at 19, you're not really an imposter.
Agreed.
You just have to believe that you're good enough.
I like it.
Yeah.
Next one.
Always being late.
You were really good about being early.
I try to be.
You're really good about that. And it's interesting because a lot of our kids, remember I had that one time I took Chloe to school.
Yes.
I'm not late. I'm not early. I'm just in time.
Yes.
Irritated her. It was so stressful.
It irritated the little ones too if you'd walk a little.
Oh,
a little bit late.
Yeah, they hated it.
Not that they're late for school. Just late to play with their friends.
They just have their thing. And the big thing with always being late, it's just if somebody's perpetually late, they don't value time. Mm-hmm. And if we don't value time, that's kind of a bad thing. That's the most important thing we all have.
Yes.
Is our time. And so if we're not valuing our time, we're probably not getting the things done we need. We're not prioritizing. It's just a whole chain reaction.
So be on time.
That's an easy thing to fix, honestly.
It is.
And it's courteous. It's just courteous to be on time.
Yes.
All right.
Being negative.
Being negative.
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 It's really hard to stay positive.
Well,
we were talking about this. You watch the news. They don't ever focus on the positive side of a story.
No.
They give you the drama for the rating.
And we like the drama.
We do.
However, we also need that resolution with the happy ending as well. So, like if we watch our little crime shows that I know you like, Mom, that there's drama. Somebody got killed. They figure it out. People are sad, whatever. But at the end, there's resolution. There's a positive on it.
Yeah.
So and what happens when we start focusing on the negative? What do we see?
We see everything in a negative light.
Yes.
And that's not good.
No, that becomes the filter we see.
Yeah.
And there's an adage. Is it an adage? Is that a real word?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's the right word. That if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? So just depending on where we're coming from, that's what our world's going to look like.
Yes.
And we got to choose that.
Yes. So choose to be positive.
Yes. Do we choose to see rainbows or storm clouds?
Exactly.
I like
rainbows.
I'm a rainbow kind of guy.
Yep. Next one is It's Never Enough.
Isn't that from, isn't there a song on that?
Yeah.
On The Greatest Showman?
Yep.
Gonna do it?
Nope.
Hit it. Come on.
Nope.
Hit it.
Nope.
You hate the way that woman sings that song.
I do. It's not the way she sings it. It's the way she stands.
Oh
my. Whoever choreographed her little scene there is no.
Greatest Showman. Excellent movie.
Great movie.
Fantastic movie.
And she sings it fine. It's
all right. What does that mean? Not enough, Martha.
So, kind of replacing the stress of having money with the stress of losing the money. So I have all of this, I have the house and the money and the car, but I could lose it.
Right.
And so you're never happy. So you want more.
There's stages, right? So people are like, well, if I just made, 10,000 more a year, or if I made this more, then I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Then they get there and they just increase their spending and nothing has changed in them personally.
Yep.
So it says, well, I just need to make a little bit more money. And they're never happy.
Instead of being grateful.
Yes. It's not about the amount of money we make. It's about knowing we have enough. It's about the safety and security of it and just being grateful. Just having the gratitude. I'm grateful for this or that or the other. Because we've heard stories of the billionaire who lost half his wealth and now he's only worth $2 billion instead of $4 billion, and he kills himself. Right?
Yeah.
The guy had plenty of money. It had nothing to do with the amount of money.
It just wasn't in his head.
It wasn't enough.
Yep. Next one is choosing poor role models.
And I think with all the influencers and just the saturation of things, especially with our kids.
The influencers are not necessarily the best role models. Maybe some of these, sports people, not necessarily the best role models. A lot of them fall.
They do.
So pick a good role model.
Even as adults. I mean, not even on the negative side. So there's real estate agents in the world just crushing it. I mean, making millions. So we got guys in California and New York. Everything they do is over the top. Their videos, they got, professional actor. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think it's like, that's a good role model to kind of look at, but you got to be realistic with it. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to achieve that here in this market. That's not who I am.
Yes.
And now I'm setting these unreasonable expectations. So I think you can kind of go both ways.
Yes.
We're looking at somebody on the negative, and somebody like crazy over the top, 1 in a million person. No, we're not going to be like that.
Nope.
We're not all going to be Michael Jordan. It's okay though.
Yeah.
Right.
You can aspire.
A little on a sidetrack on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Not giving your body what it needs.
But mine always needs brownies. It needs chocolate brownies. It needs them.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Need them.
It does.
It doesn't need them. We've talked about this a lot. Mind, body, soul.
I know.
Meditation. Health.
Maybe I'd be a little better with drink a little water.
Yeah.
Try to eat healthy. I really, really need to start cutting carbs out of just my life.
Okay.
I do. All right. That's always good.
Yeah. Trying to keep up with everyone else for appearances.
I kind of talked on that for the models.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Maybe I skipped. Whatever I said up here on the poor role models is more keeping up with others.
Well, I think it's a false keeping up with. So, buying a car that you really can't afford to make it look like you're doing better than you are.
And in real estate, that's kind of a thing, right? Just fake it till you make it.
Car.
I must be doing good.
Yeah.
But people can also do that in social media, right? You're faking that everything is so good and rosy and all these things
you only
got
put up
going
the good
on.
pictures.
Yeah, that's not the whole picture, man.
No, there is a flip side of everything. So yeah,
and don't worry about keeping up with other people.
Yep.
I heard this great quote. What is it? Don't compare your insides to other people's outside.
Yep.
We don't know what's going on inside of them.
Right.
So it's just tearing us up inside here that I'm not doing as well as, somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on inside them. I just know what's going on inside me.
Yep.
What are you doing on my computer?
I'm just touching a button.
Don't be touching my buttons. Don't touch my button.
button.
Staying in toxic relationships. That's a good thing, right?
No.
Well, no.
It's not good to stay in toxic relationships.
No, and what makes it harder is the obvious toxic ones where there's abuse, there's that's obvious. But I think the ones that are harder to see are the ones where, you've had a friend for 40 years, 20 years, 30 years. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're not going anywhere.
Or you're going in separate directions, and I think it's okay to let that go.
Or one's not going in any direction.
Right.
And you need to look at that. So like if what do they say? Your income is going to be the average of your 5 closest friends.
And I think that the younger people could benefit from this. Because, you hang out with your high school, college buddies, and then there's a point where people start getting jobs and moving on, and you're like, wait a minute.
Well, Jonah's noticed that. He's got some friend that, not even working, it's causing him frustration. But if you're hanging around that all the time, you're hanging around people that just want to hang out and party, what are you going to do?
You're going to hang out and party.
Yes.
And that's not necessarily the best thing to do.
This one, not asking for what you want.
Yeah.
You always ask for what you want, Martha?
Nope.
So there was an interesting stat with that.
There was 17% of the population doesn't feel like they're making enough money.
No, feel like they are.
Oh, feel like they're making enough money.
Only
17%
17%
are happy with their income, but 2 out of 3 people have never asked for a raise.
What?
So if you want more money,
ask.
If you feel like you're a bigger value than you're currently getting, ask.
You know what I think the problem is with that? I think people don't feel they're worth more.
I
think
that's
a lot of
part
it.
of the self-sabotage.
I think it is a self-worth issue with people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'm not worth it, or else they would have given it to me.
But they won't give it unless you ask.
No, you think they would?
But why? If you're not complaining,
but then
the wheel gets the grease.
Well, I just assume they're happy.
Yep.
Well, they never said anything. They must be happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're smiling, doing their thing. So I get it. Accepting outdated ideologies.
Yep. So from birth, they said, you know, what did they call it? Like the 7-year rule or something. When we have kids, we start raising them with our ideologies. And times change. Things change. We have to not deal with outdated ideologies. Yes. And if that means letting go of something that you've held in your heart since birth.
Like, give me an example of something like that.
Okay. So when I was younger, it was go to college, get a good job.
Right.
Well, what's the cost of college now?
You can have a $60,000 student debt and then go
for a $40,000 job.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not.
We need to look at it differently, especially with college. I mean, there's online. All right, maybe shifting our thinking that I need to go to in-person university to I can get really good online education now for a fraction of the cost.
Yes.
Right. And maybe not in a traditional institute. There's a lot of other, I mean, I take a lot of classes. I'm part of,
lots of
Business Made Simple University. It's not an accredited university, but they're actually teaching business things that make a lot more sense than trying to pass college algebra for a 4th time.
Right.
I still haven't passed it.
I did. Dude, I didn't take college algebra until like just the last couple of years.
And you
I
passed it? Good for you. What the heck? Who needs algebra?
Well, I don't use it.
Exactly.
Say all right.
Feeling entitled and arrogant.
Yes. You
That's
owe
bad.
me.
That's bad.
Well, and I think that, that comes to, I studied for this. I did great. I'm wonderful. You owe me money. You owe me status.
And that's not the same as being confident. It's okay to be confident.
It is.
We need to have some confidence, but feeling like somebody owes us?
Not good.
Not good.
And you've talked about that.
Yeah.
So you can go back to earlier.
Oh, yeah. Go back. All together. Beautiful. Nothing you started.
Oh, it's a big one.
What? You got your list?
Well, I got a tiled project in my kitchen, 70% done. I got a car in the garage.
About 75% done.
75. I got a door installed. That's
about 80% done.
Yeah.
Front yard, that's about 85%
done.
done.
Yeah.
And that's not even work projects.
No. So, yeah.
So you really need to get these things done, Martha.
They weren't my projects.
Hey, do you guys have any things that you think are like sabotaging you? Put them in the comments. Share. It's okay. Put it out there. If you know anybody who this would be helpful for?
Oh, there's one more.
What is it?
I don't know what happened to it.
You got a bonus one?
I do have a bonus one.
I mean, because we're not at 20 minutes yet.
If you don't have something, you don't want it hard enough.
I guess we really don't want an RV because we don't have it yet.
But you've said this. People who want to buy a house and they maybe don't have enough down payment saved up, if they want that house bad enough, they will sell
I agree.
Whatever to get that. If they are that motivated, they will find a way
They will
to get
figure it out. I've seen people call cousins they haven't talked to in months, just years, whatever, trying to find somebody to co-sign. If they want it, they will figure it out.
Get it.
Absolutely.
And that's the way you need to be.
If somebody wants it, they'll find a way.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't, they'll find an excuse.
If they're kind of lukewarm, they won't
Absolutely.
find a way.
I like that.
Just give up.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy the weekend.
Like, share. Yes, go do something fun.
Maybe
in your house.
Outside tips that we gave the other day.
Absolutely. All right. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.